Hello everyone! It has been almost a year, I know, a year since my last wonderful vlog. So I have decided to sit down and just get as many done as I can, obviously separate so that you're not getting bombarded with like 2 to 3 hours of what I've done in the past year, if I could even fit it into that short of a time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go kind of trip by trip or like big event by big event that I've done since last like New Year's. I think was my last one was last New Year's. And then we'll see how it goes. So without further ado, here we go. Clearly, I am no longer in the Saudi apartment, so a lot has happened. Speaking of leaving Saudi, so here's what happened was. So we're finishing up the school year with my girls. Again, you're not getting like all the details because, alas, I don't remember them all. But finishing up with my girls, and they did this great final performance. You'll see a video. We did like our promotional video so people could come and watch us. We had some that did like Helena and Hermia from Midsummer Night's Dream. People did monologues. They were so good. If you've ever seen Abbott and Costello's Who's on First, I had 2 students do that one, and it was so good, and it was so funny to hear them like say it back and forth, and then for the audience and for their classmates to slowly kind of get it like, oh, who is on first? I'm like, yes, that's the guy's name. That's whose name? Yes, and it was very funny to finally see it click for them that is what they were talking about. And then we had a big going away party at the school. We had cupcakes and everything. We had kind of 2 going away parties, one like when school was still in school, and then once exams happened. And then, I had to say goodbye to my babies, my girls, whom I love and miss dearly. But alas, they were going on to do great things. I knew it, so it was a wonderful end of the year, and I was so very proud of them. So if they're watching this, because sometimes they stalk me on YouTube and TikTok, if you're watching this, my babies, my angels, I miss you with my love, my heart. So school is over. We decide we're going to do some trips, which obviously you will see independent trips. They'll have their own vlog because we just can't cover it all. But we were floating back and forth with what do we do, where do we live, do we stay in Saudi? I can't stay past December, so do we stay longer? I was going to work at the school for like the first term, but then we'd have an apartment in Saudi till December, and then we have to move to Dubai, and then we might have to move back to Saudi. So we just said, you know what, never mind, we're just going to move. We're going to move to Dubai, and we're going to go like mid to late August, which is like I can manifest at this point, right? Like, hello, I've been saying this the whole time. So we decided, okay, we're going to move to Dubai. We're going to move to the UAE. And so then we started telling friends like, hey, this is what's happening. This is what's going on. All this, of course, was decided while I was in Croatia with my cousins, might I add. So this is like end of the summer. Like we spent the summer kind of like, you'll see the vlogs. And then by the end of July, we were like, okay, early August, we're going to move by the end of August, which we ended up moving in September. So when we get back from our Slovenia, Slovakia trip and then my Croatia trip, because I went like straight into it, we end up telling our friends we have like a month left, and that's where the fun really begins. So now that we're leaving, our friends are like, oh, let's do things that LEB likes. Woohoo! So we went and played laser tag, which was so intense because it wasn't the laser tag that we did before, because we'd done one before in like the mall, which was really cool, and they played intense music and it was glow in the dark. But our gun, like the girls' guns didn't work. It was only 5 of us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. It's only 5 of us. And the girls' guns didn't work. It was 3 girls versus 2 boys. The girls' guns didn't work, really. So, like, I would shoot Robert, and he wouldn't, like, get points off. And I wouldn't get credit for killing him. But I would, like, you could see it, like, hitting the target, right? So, we didn't go back there. And we told the people, and they were like, oh, yeah, it is broken. And then they didn't, like, give our money back or let us play another game. Nothing. Not like they were busy. It was just us in this big thing. So, we went to play a laser tag again with, like, everyone. Like, a bajillion people. And it was like this like huge facility, 2 stories, like cars. There were a bunch of like wrecked cars and like all these broken down buildings that were supposed to look like hotels and restaurants and homes and like gas stations. It was so cool. It was like you were on an abandoned like dystopian street, and we got wrecked. There was like 35 people playing. Our team was only, I mean, they were split like 15 and 17 or something, but we were 10 of the 15 on one team, and we just got annihilated. I think I killed like 3 people the entire game because I just kept getting shot. Some guy sat at the top of one of the buildings and just sniped us. We're pretty sure they were cheating. We're pretty confident that they were. But anyway, we got annihilated. It was fun. We were all pouring sweat. It was only 3 like 7-minute rounds or something, and we were all soaking wet, pouring sweat. But whatever. We then went back and we did several game nights too, which was nice. We did a fishbowl for my family, who knows what that is, and I think I made the Hearts play it at some point. It's like the 4 rounds. Hearts said time's up. 4 rounds, and they loved it. Our French friend Victor was like, "Oh, I know this game. It's called Time's Up." And I was like, "No, it's called Fishbowl." He's like, no, it's Time's Up. And I'm like, no, it's not. And then he told me about Time's Up, and it was like kind of the same, but it missed like a good chunk of the stuff. I said, no, it's similar, but this game is called Fishbowl. And every time we do something that was similar to Time's Up, he would be like, like Time's Up. I'm like, it's a different game. This is not a French game. This is not the same thing. And it was hilarious. At one point, it was my turn, and if you don't know the game, this won't make sense, but I'm not explaining the rules via the vlog. But I pulled out my thing, and it said Staline. Like it was Staline. 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 And I was like, did someone misspell saline? Or like staple? I don't know what this says. So I was like, excuse me, I don't know what this says. Like, who wrote this? And our French friend was like, oh, you know, like Joseph Stalin. I was like, Stalin. There's no E at the end. He's like, oh, that's the French spelling. I don't speak French. I don't know what that means. Hello? Like, no. So I'm like, oh, Stalini. Got it. Yes. Everyone knows. And then, of course, half people in the room were like, who the heck's that? I'm like, we should probably throw this one out. And we played this game like 3 times. People got, like, we figured it out. And then the last one we played was, someone put in Bulp. B-U-L-P. Bulp. We couldn't figure it out. No one claimed it either. We'd be like, all right, who wrote it? Like, tell us what you meant. No one claimed it. I have it in my day timer, Bulp, because it's just so ridiculous. And no one claimed it. And every now and again, I'll just text and be like, all right, who wrote it? Who wrote Bulp? I have to know. And I forgot to mention that we had a person living with us since, was it May, Robert? Yeah. One of the guys Robert worked with, one of the guys Robert works with at Corvus, his old job, moved to Saudi for a new job. Like Robert obviously was still in Saudi, but Tony moved to Saudi and was in a hotel room in February and looking for an apartment and never found one. And then March, never found one. And then April, still hadn't found one. And so we were like, all right, look, you cannot stay in a hotel. You cannot keep eating hotel food. That's gross. Come live with us. We have 2 bedrooms. Like, until you find a hotel or an apartment, like, live with us. And then he lived like late April, early May, all the way until we moved here to Dubai. And spectacular. 10 out of 10. Favorite roommate we've ever had. Fun individual. He listened to me ramble. He loved to watch Disney movies. He would order me slushies on like Kareem, like the Uber Eats of Saudi, of Riyadh. Fantastic roommate. 10 out of 10. And he would listen to me rant about my books and things. And speaking of my books and things, many of you know, but I'll say it again because it's a fun story. I have decided to write a book. Several, as it were. Many of you know I've written children's books. They're great. If you haven't read them, ask my mom. But I was in the process of I decided, I was going to write a fantasy book. So I wasn't going to have a job. I was going to sit down. I was going to really work because Robert, started work on the 10th of July, and we lived in Dubai for a bit, as you know from the other vlogs. So I said, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to sit down and do it. So I decided every day I was going to write 5,000 words. I was just going to sit down and churn it out, just like in college. And I'd gotten to about 6,000 words. And then I sat down and I was writing it, and I got to about 12. Like, I'd written another 6,000-ish, give or take. And I was auto-saving as I went because I read somewhere, saw something on TikTok that said they steal your information. Like, AI will steal your information from, like, a Google Doc. And I was not vibing with having my book stolen from me via the internet. So I was writing it on a Google Doc, on a Word document, and the Word document did not save. Even though I was auto-saving it, my computer just completely crashed, gone, finished. I don't know why Robert turned the slide on. Just deleted everything from like 6 months. and that was terrible. And I thought I was gonna die. I was crying, snot crying, I mean weeping. Called Robert, snot crying. I tried everything to bring it back. I mean, I like, short of calling Apple and saying like, come to my house and fix this, I did everything I could to recover it. I watched countless YouTube videos and it was gone. So I was back to the original like 4,000, 6,000. And I said, you know what? LEB, you like to write things by hand. You should be writing this by hand anyway. You should be doing it on Google Docs. AI can have whatever they want. So they'll rule the world eventually. So I said, screw that. And I started on Google Docs. I'm almost up to 100,000 words. Obviously, it should be more than that by now. I know that. But I have decided, I want to have the beta version of the book by Christmas. And so I've had to take some time off now from travel, from moving, from living in a hotel. I have a job now, which we'll get to later. But I had to take some time. But I'm really liking where it's headed, and Tony was good because he would ask like, oh, how'd it go today? Like, what was this? And we could talk about it because I don't want to like ruin it for Robert. Like, I started reading it to Robert. If I finished a chapter, I would read it to him, and then I said, no, actually, I want it to be a surprise. I don't want you to know what's going to happen. So I'm very excited about that. I'm in the process of completing it. So if you like fantasy, this is the one for you. I'm just kidding. My goal is for it to be like a solid middle ground book. Like it's not a work of art by any means. It's not like a J.K. Rowling or a Sarah J. Maas situation, but it's good enough. Like people should be like, man, it's okay. I could read the next one. So that's what my goal is. Anyway, that was how my days would go until we decided to move to Dubai. As I would wake up, I would do some writing, fix breakfast, clean the house, pack, whatever, go to the gym, write some more, get a coffee, write some more, cook dinner, write and or read what I wrote before, and then repeat. And it was pretty cool. Made brunch for people, got a funny TikTok video that is also in this video about that, where people did not show up on time. And then our friends got a puppy, who's I'm calling Skunk. They've named it something else, but I will be calling it Skunk because it is this little floof ball of black and white floof, and it's so small. I mean, truly, it is like the size of this pen. It weighs like a kilogram. You could just throw it out the window and it probably wouldn't even fall. It would just float away. Keep it from strong winds, as they say. One big gust and it's tumbling down the road like a tumbleweed, or like Eliza in the school play when she was in Arizona. But it's adorable. And we had a final game night, like our farewell party. I chose the food because it's technically my farewell party because I said I'm probably not coming back here. One great food to choose. It was like a restaurant you need to sit down. It's like taking Sato to go. Like, it's good, but is it? Like, wouldn't you rather eat literally anything else to go, or at least eat there? But it was nice, and said goodbye to everyone. And right before we left, I'm just remembering this as I'm looking at my own foot. I was dancing before I like took a shower before bed, dancing in my room, like woohoo woo, and my toe went like under. And my body went forward, but my foot went backwards. And my big toe, I was like, big toe. And so I went to the doctor in Saudi, in Riyadh, and was like, hi, I think I hurt my toe. It's been like 3 days. It still really hurts. I've been icing it. I've been doing Tylenol, whatever. And the guy did not look at my foot. He looked over his desk like this. And he said, do you want an x-ray? I said, do I want an x-ray? Yeah, I guess so. Sure. So he was like, okay. So I went and got an x-ray, and then I came back, and it was like a Barbie foot on his screen. It was this tiny little picture on his screen. And he was like, seems fine. And I said, okay. He goes, so no restrictions. I said, okay, but it does hurt to walk. And he was like, then I will prescribe you pain medicine. And he was going to prescribe me hardcore drugs. And I was like, no, it's cool. I'll relax. He was like, you're fine. You can go run if you want. It's like, I'm not going to do that. It hurts to walk. So I digress. Kept icing it, whatever. And then when I ended up coming here, I did go to another doctor to get a second opinion. And he said, I've strained my big toe, which feels ridiculous. I've been to him twice now because it still hurts. And I'm going to have to go to physical therapy for my big toe, which feels about as silly as when I got physical therapy for this pinky when I wrecked my mom's car against the Usheries' evil, maniacal mailbox when I just totaled mom's car. Sorry, Mom. So, yes, I will be going to physical therapy for my big toe. Not thrilled at all. Also, when we were having one of our dinners, not our farewell dinner, but the like dinner before that, we were all sitting around the table and there was like these new people who were friends with one of our other friends. And they were there and we were all chatting. And you know, Robert likes to be included in things very much. I love that about him. He always wants to find connections to people and he just chimes in whenever he sees fit. And so he's talking to someone and he hears something HelloFresh, like the food thing in America. And all he hears is HelloFresh. And so he like whips his head around. And we're all 10 of us. This is after we went laser tagging. All 10 of us are sitting sweaty around the table eating dinner, pizza. And he goes, oh, something HelloFresh. Whips his head. Oh, HelloFresh? That'll never work in Saudi Arabia. The something HelloFresh. The something had been, my company is bringing HelloFresh to Saudi Arabia. To which Robert then immediately responded, HelloFresh will never work in Saudi Arabia. So that was really awkward. And then everyone kind of sat there like, oh no. And it was the new guy who had said it, like the guy who was like friends of a friend. And he was like, well, what do you mean? And then Robert was like, immediately realized that was not what he should have said. And so he was like trying to backtrack, and Sweet Thing was like, no, what I meant was only if there was a good distributor and the food was fresh from a place that is close by. And the guy was like, are you saying it's not gonna work out well? And the guy was really cocky. And Robert was like, I am not saying anything. Oh God. And we were all like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And that guy had some strong opinions about other things, but not appropriate for the YouTube. Either way, strong opinions. He really thought he was like the bee's knees. And it was hilarious because Robert just chimed on in without knowing what he was chiming on. And then we moved here. That was laser tag, and then the next week was our farewell. And we ended up getting dinner with some of our friends like the night before we flew out. Obviously, Tony was involved. And we went and got my favorite Lebanese restaurant. And then, yeah, I mean, we had dinner with our friend from Jordan. Who we'll talk about in the Jordan, you'll have heard about in the Jordan blog. He was really sweet and cooked for us. And we met his niece actually works with Robert. They were like in their onboarding group together, which is pretty cool. So we had dinner with him. And then, yeah, we flew to Dubai and we have been living in a hotel. We moved into this apartment almost a week ago. Wow, that feels way longer than it should have been. But yeah, no, Tuesday, little under a week. So we flew to Dubai we had all of our stuff shipped here. Robert's company had it shipped here. It is still not here. It was shipped, like 4 weeks ago. We were in a hotel we got in on the 11th, September 11th. And so however many days that's been, 29, 19. Yeah, 19 days. So almost 20 days we've been here. And no, 20. I don't know. Yeah, 20 days. Good grief. I need to take more math lessons. Been here 20 days. Got in on Monday. On Tuesday, I had a job interview in Sharjah, which is the emirate, I think, north of us. Because the emirate is, the UAE, the United Arab Emirates, is 7 emirates combined. So it's like 7 states in one country. But they're all kind of independent, but not really. I don't really get it. But it's in Sharjah, which is not Dubai, right? Dubai is its own emirate. So I went to the interview, drove the rental car to the interview. Didn't have any clothes. Had like a skirt and a blouse. And got there, and I was meeting with the principal. And he said, and tell me how you found out about the school. And I was like, I did not remember applying. So there's that. And he was like, oh, well, since you've gone through the interview process already, to which I said, I have not. He said, what do you mean? You wouldn't be meeting with me if you haven't been interviewed. I said, I have not done anything. I am not sure how I'm here. So then he was like, we should interview you. I said, okay. And he goes, so why do you like teaching 4th grade? Because that's what you've applied for. And I was like, may I remind you? I did not. Like, that is the theme of this conversation. I did not. I said, I don't work with 4th graders. I work with middle schoolers. And he was like, oh, so you'd be better suited for our middle school English and drama teacher position. I said, I would. That is definitely more what I'm suited for. And I still, to this day, do not know how I got involved at this school. But here I am. And so I interviewed on Tuesday, got an offer on Tuesday, confirmed on Thursday, and then started 2 Mondays ago. And I've had it's only a 4-day work week, whoop, whoop, which is nice. It is a 35-minute drive away, but I use that time to call my mom, call my grandmother, listen to books, whatever, listen to music, talk to myself. I'm great company. And try not to get a ticket because there's like speeding cameras everywhere. But I work at this school now. I'm the drama teacher for 1st through 8th grade, maybe 9th grade this week. And I teach one of the 6th grade classes, English. So I've got a lot of students all the time. I average 5 miles walking at work each day, which is something else. And yeah, so far I'm liking it. They're still trying to figure out when classes come to me. So last week I didn't have any middle school classes at all because they didn't know to come to me. And then I only had like half of the elementary because they split time between me and the dance teacher. But so far so good. I'm excited to kind of see where it takes me. We've got some fun trips coming up Christmas time, and before Christmas we've got our trip to Callum and Megan's wedding in November to Scotland. So I'm very excited to get to hug on them and to see Scotland and to see David and to go on walks and to see Jeffson and all of our friends over there in the great country of, and of course greenery. We'll see greenery. But of course now it's October, so it's Halloween season. And they celebrate kind of, not really, Halloween here, so we're going to a store today to buy Halloween stuff. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Robert's made me wait. They put it out like this weekend. So we walked by yesterday and I said, and he said, no, you have to wait. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll wait. So also I forgot about this, before my first day of school, like 2 weeks ago, the Sunday before, Robert took me we got massages on Saturday from Tony, our roommate. He like gave us a gift card. He didn't give us the massages. He gave us a gift card to get massages because he lived with us for 5 months rent-free. And so we went and got those, a couples time massage, which was very nice. Robert fell asleep. And I thought I was getting beaten up. I had to ask her to go lighter, which never happens. This woman was like a witch or something. Very strong hands. And then the next day, Robert took me to Atlantis on like the Palms. If you look up Dubai, you'll see the Palm. They built a palm tree island. Like it looks like a palm tree island. And we went to Atlantis. And it was so much fun because, water slides. I think my phone is ringing. Hold on. Sorry, Robert's phone was ringing. So I had to get that and take it to him in the room. To his work, as they say. And let's see, what else? We went to SeaWorld yesterday. Got to see some porpoise. Yes, and birds, flamingos. I saw a toucan, beautiful. And I got to meet some of Robert's work friends, his like colleagues, his teammates. And yeah, we're pretty much just cruising, trying to get into the flow of things. We still don't have our stuff yet. Pretty sure it's still actually in Saudi, which is very unfortunate. So I'll do a tour of the apartment at the end of the vlog so you can see. Because we've got, like, obviously, it came with furniture, and I got rugs, and I built this bookshelf right here. But, and I built a desk for Robert. But, like, our plates and silverware and my clothes and, our sock holder, like, all that kind of stuff. Our camping stuff, our trinkets, our books. That stuff isn't here yet. So it's only annoying because we're having to use, like, the stuff. Like, I don't want to buy anything we already have, but, like, they didn't come with oven mitts. And it didn't come with a pan to cook things on. So, like, I had to go buy a pan and oven mitts because I don't really feel like cooking chicken on the, like, stovetop. It's all gas. I'm unnerved by our oven and stove. And it came with, like, 3 plates. But they're thin and weirdly big. And the bowls are, like, this, I think it's a shallow soup bowl or something. But it's very hard to eat out of. So we're very ready for our stuff to get here. And for us to feel like we're finally fully here and unpacked. Because I feel like we're both still... doesn't feel fully real until we're fully unpacked. So we're ready for that to happen in the coming week. And then, let's see, I think that's pretty much it. It's been eventful, but this vlog is probably the least eventful vlog other than just we moved countries and time zones. We're an hour ahead now, an hour further ahead. So 8 from Mom and Dad, 9 from Eliza. Mom, Dad, Edward, the rest of the family, and then 9 from Eliza. And yeah, this coming weekend, we're going to try to finish our scuba certification so that when we go for Eliza's trip, maybe we can try to scuba some of the shipwrecks in the BVIs. That's our thoughts at the moment. So that's it for our final days in Saudi and our move to Dubai. So I guess enjoy watching everything else we've done in the past year in the other vlogs. Toodaloo! I promise I'll try to keep up with this stuff. It just might be like every couple weeks because it's really not that eventful here anymore. We're just kind of living our life. So here we go.
always be the most amazing teacher in the world.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Robert. Happy birthday to you. Yay! Say hi.
Hi! Happy Easter!
They're dying
Easter.
eggs. They look so pretty.
We want to say thank you for the beautiful
Birthing-
dinner, Ellie B.
birthing this child. Thank you.
And also thank you for this very fun activity that we're
you.
really enjoying.
And Victor made a carrot.
Yeah, and thank you for my feet, which is orange.
Okay, we're hosting a brunch. It starts at noon. Let's see when we'll get here. We even had the table set and it looked so good. Shout out to Gus for making sure it looked so nice. And then we had the vegetables already cut for the omelets and for the eggs. And we had the yogurt parfait bowls ready to go with all the fruit and everything. I'm the chef, so I was obviously here about 15 minutes early. Robert was stuck with me.
Do ba 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 do boo do a boo ba do boo boo ba do a do ba.
Moses supposes his toes are roses, but Moses supposes erroneously. kitchen. Ta-da! Obviously dishes to do. The living room. I built that bookshelf. I built that desk. I got that rug. Got that lamp. Got that lamp. Robert's banjo. Got this rug. Bathroom. Yes, indeed. Hello. Robert, looking pensive by the window. Cheers, indeed. A lot of natural light, which we love. We're getting a new mattress. But you can also see like straight into their homes, which means they can see straight into our homes. So, you know, have to be careful when we change clothes. Ta-da!